Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to episode 341 of your Overseas Connection podcast, the official podcast of the G4TE.com community that is gaming for the elderly, a mature gaming community. We are technology challenged today on multiple levels, so we are going to be joined in progress by a few of our team members, but for now, it's myself, Greg DeLacy Gamertag, Murphy's Law, OC_Murphy's Law on Twitter, and the only person who could make it on time, get her computer and Skype to work properly, and didn't have other obligations, Kim Woods.
Howdy. I'd ask how you're doing, but I think it's pretty obvious by now.
I'm doing great. It's, I mean, for me, it's been a good day.
Yeah.
Any moment now, we do expect Nicole Radowski to come on screaming and cussing because
We
Skype has not been her friend today.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fraser Moores is going to join the podcast once he is done helping out his family get dinner. But he wasn't, no fault of his own. That was his deal. He had that set up. But Mark Wright was supposed to be on the podcast, but we don't know where Mark is. Most bets right now in the Vegas odds column are putting it at Mark being asleep. It's a possibility. He has decided to, head off to Uruguay. Maybe he's down in Bolivia or Chile, enjoying South America. But likely he is just straight up asleep. And if I'm not mistaken, I heard a click, 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 bleep, bleep, bleep of Nicole Radowski on the show now. Maybe? Nicole?
Can't hear anybody.
Hey.
We can hear you. And that's about the way this show is going so far. So,
Yep.
yes. Nicole Radowski.
Hey.
Yes, Nicole getting her Skype up and running.
You can do it.
You can do it,
got
kid.
it.
You can do it.
Now I gotta get some clothes on, and then I can turn my camera on.
Well,
Hey, whatever works, Nicole. Whatever
might
works.
get us some rating or extra viewers or something.
Exactly. Also might get us kicked off Twitch, but hey.
True.
So yeah,
Does this work?
it's slowly working. And just to let you know, Nicole, we are live. We have started up the show, so you are broadcasting to the
Okay.
world.
That's why I had to get clothes on.
There you go. All right. Well, Nicole, thank you for making the show. Thank you for figuring
10 years
technology
later,
out.
woohoo!
Yes.
Go me!
Yeah, it's going to be, like I said, an interesting show. Fraser Moores will join us shortly in progress. We just don't know where Mark is. Literally nowhere to be found. Again, my guess, sleeping it off. I think he pulled, some kind of kegger all-night party last night, and so he's hungover severely today. But anyway, let's not dally about. Let's talk about video games. That's what most of the Twitch viewers want to see. And by the way, if you are listening to this through iTunes or Stitcher on your preferred listening device, you can watch this crazy mess unfold actually live. You could have seen this all happening live on Twitch, all the way up to the fantastic announcement, that we were a shambles of a podcast this week. You could also have seen last week where literally my computer just shit the bed and just crashed, and so the entire last part of our shout-outs got cut off on Twitch. You could have seen that live. And that's all simply live.g4te.com. You jump in there, you put that in your browser, and you will watch us every Saturday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. UK, which, gosh, maybe we have to change this time because apparently that's past Mark's bedtime.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so video games. Let's get into it. Let's talk about what we've been playing. Throw it around the room.
I'm adding right now.
I see you are adding. So why don't we start with you? Just add and talk away. Nicole,
Really?
what have you? Yes, let's talk about it. Minecraft 2. I didn't know that happened.
No, it wasn't a two. I was fixing it. I'm multitasking here.
So Minecraft story mode. You dove into it. What do you think?
I actually like it. It was a lot of fun. I'm in love with the pig.
The pig.
And isn't that awful? I'm like,
Well.
I can't give a rat's ass about the characters. I'm like, but the pig was so cute. So I'm in love with the pig. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
All right.
I like a pig.
Loving the pig.
Mm-hmm.
Well, walk me through a little bit. How does Minecraft Story Mode work? What is the premise? I have no idea. I mean, my knowledge of Minecraft is it's a game one not the biggest fan of. I
think you might like this a little bit better because
their structure and I'm not.
Yeah, it's you know how Dragon Age you have to pick your little answers and whatever happens from your answers, that's what happens in the story.
Right.
Same concept.
Okay, and this is the Telltale game, correct?
Yes, Telltale game. So you get to pick either being a boy or girl, and there's a couple little characters you can pick from. But either way, you're named Jesse. So you're either Jesse the girl or Jesse the boy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some little rivalry with some other gang, and you guys have to do a little competition and work some things out and kind of go into the belly of the beast together. But it's basically because I don't want to spill anything for those that haven't done it, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, the creativity isn't there. It's more of it automatically does it for you kind of thing. So you just kind of pick what you're going to do by picking whatever your answer is. And you don't get a lot of time to pick those answers either, so you better learn how to read fast.
Are they all timed responses? That's interesting, because that's not something Telltale typically did. They would do it once in a while, but not like on all of them.
It's got that little bar under it, and you only have so long, and if you don't pick an answer, it picks one for you.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, now that's... So, when there's 3 of us making the decision, because it would be myself and my 2 children,
right?
Then it's pretty much, let's go with that one, real quick, as fast as we could. But it was, I liked it. We got this particular version on the iPad.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to wait until all the episodes are out, and then probably buy it for one of the consoles as a whole game. Right. Instead of, piecing it together, because I'm not big on the episodic type of games.
Right.
I like to binge. I either binge play or I binge listen. So
right, and that makes sense. And I mean, let's face it. At the end of the day, I think that is the way these Telltale games should be played. I think we all kind of agree. I mean, the episodic nature sounds good on paper until they start missing release dates, until they start taking too long to develop out the next episode, and you just kind of lose interest. So I would much rather, like you said, Nicole, get them all lined up, blast through them, and not have to wait, 3-4 months for the next episode to appear.
Yeah, exactly. My kids weren't being patient, so I was like, all right, you get one, but you get it on the iPad. And they got the one, they got it on the iPad. And we had fun with it. But now you're at the point where you're like, I want to finish the game. When's the next one coming out? Look at the time. So, we'll have to be patient.
Okay, and in terms of the visual quality of because again, I have not really paid any attention to Minecraft Story Mode. Is it on par with Minecraft? I mean, is it just that kind of visuals, or are they doing more of a little more polished, if you will, cel shaded kind of Telltale type visuals?
It's kind of like watching a Lego movie.
Okay.
If that helps any, it's kind of like watching the Lego movie. I mean, in my opinion, it's not like, what was it? Was it the Walking Dead ones or whatever, where it's really, it's really dark or whatever. No, they've got the bright blues and they've got the bright greens and all the colors that you would see without any extra shading. It looks like a Minecraft game.
Okay. All right.
Or you're watching the Lego Adventure, whatever.
Okay, good.
But it's definitely 2 thumbs up for the kids.
Okay.
And if you're an adult, I seriously would wait if you're impatient like me.
Well, so that's a question to ask. So in terms of the humor level, I mean, is it real kid-friendly humor, or is it um, maybe akin to, say, like a Family Guy cartoon where they
No,
have they
not
have
Family Guy. It's more Shrekish. Like
okay,
there's some jokes that come off and I'm snickering and it goes over my kids' heads.
okay,
And then there's some stuff where I'm like, that's a such and such reference, or that's a such and such reference. And then some of the people, the characters in here, the voice for the male Jesse is the voice of Remy the Rat from Ratatouille.
okay.
And was it Axel? There's just if you go look, you IMDb the game, go to IMDb and look up the game, you'll see the voices. And once you start seeing some of these faces, you'll be amazed how many actual famous people are using their voices for this game.
And that, it's kind of that would have been a great segue into last week's topic about the Video Game Actors Guild, or was it Screen Actors Union, I guess, is talking about potentially striking.
Yeah.
So, they feel that their presence is enough of importance within the games to warrant them getting residual payments. I don't know. I agree with that part of it. So, I mean, I agree that they should get paid extra when they have to do, and I know we're tangenting here, but when they have to do the motion capture stuff, that's going beyond just lending your voice to, you're at that point you're putting on a performance. So to me, they should be earning extra money in that regard.
Yeah,
and
but
being
this is just voiceover.
right.
So let it go.
Let it go. Let it for the kids
Just let it go.
and us.
They can borrow my voice if they need it. That's fine.
Well, there you go. Newsflash to
Thank
all
you.
video game developers listening to this. If you need a voice, Nicole Radowski, happy to lend it. And she
That's
won't
right.
strike.
I won't.
No. All right, Nicole, what else? Battlefront? I see that on...
The Star Wars one, is that
Yep.
what the beta?
Yep. Star Wars Battlefront. So let me hear your impressions.
It was beautiful, and it totally brought out my complete suckage at first-person shooters because it's been so long. Oh my god, it was hilarious. So my son and I, because he's been home, he had surgery, so he's been home recuperating.
Right.
And we loaded it up, and I'm in there, and he's like, "Just give me the control. Just give me the control." I'm like, "I'll get it." I was like, "I got to invert," and he's like, "You and your inverting." So I go and I fix it to where I can, but I've already died twice by now. And
you
he's
and
like,
your
"Oh."
inverting mother.
I know. Neither one of my children invert, and I don't know what's wrong with them.
I don't think I invert.
I don't invert either.
I can't.
I do for flight sims. Ironically, if I'm playing a flight sim, I do need to invert.
No, I invert all games.
Hmm.
All. I don't care. All. Maybe it's because I'm left-handed and I'm right-minded, or I don't know, but it screws me up, and it also screws with my vertigo. So if my vertigo, I will throw up on the floor if I feel like I'm gonna fall off of something. But I liked it. I did not get too much into the multiplayer because I had him, and I didn't really want to delve into multiplayer with an 8-year-old.
Right. Well, it was, and what you might hear within the multiplayer.
Yeah, and
right.
So I was like, we played a little bit of that, and it basically, at first everybody's skill level was pretty much on par with mine. It sucked, but then I went in a little bit later, and they obviously been playing the whole time I was gone.
The bell curve raised.
Yeah, I'm like, hello, where did all these asshats come from who were wiping the floor with me? So, but I definitely need to get back into the first-person shooter and get a little practicing in because, that was a complete massacre because, like I said, I died the first 2 or 3 times on the single-player mode, and my son goes in and finishes the entire thing first run through, and I'm like, oh my god, no, you did not just do that.
Right.
I know. I'm like, that's it, get out of my room. Go.
That's it, just leave.
Yeah,
it happens.
You're finished, son. But it was graphically gorgeous.
Right.
It definitely had that Titanfall feel to it. So if you like the Titanfall, I didn't like getting yelled at by that little ugly guy with the big eyeballs.
Akbar. Isn't it Akbar? Admiral Akbar, I think is his name.
Whatever. And every time he started talking, I was like, what is that? There's a space, The Last Starfighter.
Right?
He
Mhm.
reminds me of one of the characters in The Last Starfighter. So I
Okay.
kept thinking of that movie while I'm playing this game, and I'm like, I don't know if that's a complimentary reference. Because I'm like, but
No,
that
no, he's
reminded me of that big eye guy in that movie too. So, but
yeah.
I didn't like him barking at me. When the chick barks at me, I'm fine. I don't know why. Maybe
Well,
it's her pleasantries
Alien.
or something.
Wow, that's like a double standard alien racism.
Yeah, sorry. He's male and he's an
Right.
alien. He
And
gets
he's a
talk
fish head. Yeah.
Sorry.
Hmm.
The
Your
British chick
colors.
I speak with.
Your colors are coming out, Nicole.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be prejudiced against aliens with big eyes and scruffy male voices, but apparently I am. I
Apparently.
didn't mean it.
So I guess the question to ask then, we know you're in for Minecraft, Star Wars Battlefront. Is this something that you think you're going to now purchase?
I will probably purchase it when it's on sale. I am
Yeah.
not gonna go full bore price on this one. See, Halo, yes. Gears, yes. This one, I can see it sitting in the hopper for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll pay the full price. To me, it's just not worth it. But I'm getting like that more and more with my games. I've become, I don't know if it's the old age and decrepitness or
Well,
just the fact that I don't really want to pay for games.
no,
60 bucks.
it is interesting though because I mean, if you think about it, within a month's time frame, almost always these games are getting reduced, especially the big $60 games.
Mhm.
Yep.
The $30, $20 games, those tend to, I feel, hold their prices a little bit longer, and then you get the publisher sale for digital, that kind of thing, once in a while. But um, for the most part, the big games they don't they don't hold their price nearly as long. It seems like within a matter of about a month, you'll see that game discounted out at a Target or
Yes.
Amazon, something like that, and then you pick it up on the cheap, or conversely go into GameStop. That still is not always the recommended method, at least from my standpoint, but it is a viable method, especially if you have something to trade in on top of it. You can at least save 10, $15. So
5.
or five.
GameStop. It's
5.
GameStop.
Yeah,
You
it's true. It's true.
Plus or
It's
minus
five.
5 for Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, maybe that's the better point is don't buy from GameStop. If you want to buy your used games, I would actually really recommend doing eBay because you typically can get a really decent price on a popular game. So like Star Wars Battlefront, you'll probably be able to find that within a month's time frame for $40. And typically speaking, there'll be somebody on there also offering up free shipping. So
Mhm.
That's true.
yeah.
And I just don't. I don't know. Because I have to be more tight with my money now.
Mm-hmm.
I really just don't see the point in paying $60 when, like you said, in a month or two it'll be cheap.
Right, right.
Mhm.
I mean, there's people
Uh,
screaming, but it's Star Wars. It's
let them
it's
scream at Star Wars. You know what? I'll go buy a poster. I can stare at that for a few days. $5. I don't care.
I'll go
I
back to
just
playing Dragon Age. Whatever.
thank you. I'm like, I've got a pile of shame myself that has started over here. That I'm like, and I actually waited on some of those games, but I'm still haven't played them because I just don't have that kind of time right now.
The internet is
Mhm.
melting down right now because of what you promised.
I
Going
know.
crazy. Going crazy.
Let him. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Uh,
It's
it's okay. You are allowed your opinion.
again. It's always so bitchy. That is my job.
There is that.
Y'all on your toes.
All right, let's add Fraser into the group. I believe he is ready. I
Woohoo.
could be wrong.
Well, if we
I
brought
saw.
dinner.
Yes, he did. He said he was bringing dinner for everybody.
Yep.
There is no dinner left.
There's no dinner left. We are screwed.
Aw.
Fraser Moores, thank you for making the podcast.
You're welcome.
Well, what did we have for dinner, by the way, Fraser, just to get us all up to speed?
It goes by a number of different names. You would know it as spaghetti. Some people know we call it paschetti or getty, but spaghetti.
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 I
Yeah.
made pasties, Cornish pasties.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you.
See, and I took that for pasties, and
I knew you would, and that's so funny because I was like,
well, why are you
They're gonna
making
read it
Cornish
wrong.
pasties? All right, Fraser, we've been talking about what we've been playing. We just got through talking about Battlefront and Minecraft Story Mode. I don't know if either of those crossed your playlist this past week.
Minecraft Story Mode did. Yes, that came into our house, and I didn't play it myself. I sat and watched my son play it. Or I sat for a little bit and watched him play. He thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
That does seem to be the consensus among the children. But what did you, the adult, think?
I 5-10 minutes. I was done. I was out. There was
Wow.
nothing. Yeah. There was nothing really compelling there. The story seemed very sluggish and
Right.
not very interesting. I mean, it just didn't engage me. I think we've been spoiled as mature gamers with things like The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us. They're
Right.
stories that we are interested in. You know,
it's
True,
a cute
true.
story.
Fraser is
it's-
a unfeeling male. He has no compassion, Nicole. So obviously, the cuteness is lost on him.
I'm dead
Apparently.
inside.
Fraser, Nicole pointed out some of the humor kind of rang true with her, but a lot of it was directed more towards kids. Did you feel the same thing, or did all of it just pass you by and you were done?
What, that it was all directed to kids?
Well, yeah. Did you feel any of the humor might resonate with a more mature gamer?
I didn't stick with it long enough really to make that.
Oh,
opinion,
you
I don't
literally
think.
left the room.
I literally left after
Okay.
5 or 10 minutes. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I just wasn't interested. I mean, I wasn't playing it, so maybe that doesn't help.
That probably doesn't help. But, what this does actually reinforce was the notion that Nicole already had said, which was, wait, you don't need to buy this today. You can wait and pick this up down the road.
There you are.
Look, to the power of the
Great.
internet, we have video as well. Wow.
That's grand.
Nice. Okay, so, well, Fraser,
So my past my comments on it anyway. So I think it seems to be a very passable game for the kids.
okay.
Not so passable for the adults. I've read other reviews where they sort of rubbished it a bit, but I mean, my son went round and he played it again the next day. He went through it again. So that sort of speaks for itself
Dude,
to me.
that's good.
Right, yeah. That
It has
seems like
replayability.
it's replayability.
Yes.
I'm making
It's
up
really
shit.
slick.
Yeah.
It's really slick. They've done well with it, I think.
Well, apparently you put Minecraft into the title and it makes money.
No doubt about it.
Fraser, what else? Since we're talking to you, let's continue on. What else have you played?
Unfortunately, I haven't really played much else since I was last here.
Okay. Fraser, you're fired.
Well, no, sorry, that's wrong. I phrased that wrong. I've played a lot, but not of
Nothing
anything
new. Gotcha. Quick
Loads-
rundown.
Metal
Quick
Gear.
rundown.
Gear,
Metal
Dynamite.
Metal Gear.
Metal
Yeah.
Gear, yeah. I'm still plodding away on that.
So how is this, by the way? So we're getting to that time of year. We start thinking about our personal top 5 games of the year. Again, I don't think there's a game of the year for everybody. Not just one game that everybody unanimously says is perfect, but we all have our favorites. Is Metal Gear Solid 5? Is that it's up there?
Way up there.
Yeah. All right.
That's number 1 for sure. I can't see it being knocked off. I've been obsessed with it since I got it. And my enthusiasm for it is not waning. I mean, I played another probably 2 or 3 hours this afternoon.
Now, are you playing the online portion now? Or
I
are you
have
just
been
still
playing
playing
the
the
online.
story?
I have been playing the online. I've been working my way through the campaign. That is
Okay.
not getting easy. The missions towards the end are pretty difficult, so it's challenging. So I'm playing 2 or 3 hours, and then I'm burning out, and then I'm coming back the next day, and I'm as enthusiastic about it again as I was the day before. And I have been playing some of the online. Not a great deal. I'd really like to see if any of the community could get in and do some private matches. I think they would be hilarious. And then there's also a side of the game where you can go and attack people's bases.
Okay.
And depending on... So I can go to a list and choose a number of gamer tags, say 20 or 30 gamer tags will come up, and I can sift through those and decide if I want to attack somebody's base. And the object is to either get to the core of the base, which is just an area,
Right.
and then along the way, Fulton out and take as many items and
Fulton out.
personnel from their base. And you're basically stealing
Right.
employees. But at the same time, I'm also investing time and money into preparing my base for when people come and try and infiltrate my base. So I'm developing weapons for it, developing staff. It's so in-depth. And that's just something I do on the odd occasion when I suddenly...
Right. Now, when somebody comes in and they steal stuff from your base, do you actually feel it on your end? So if I were to invade your base and steal, say you had a prize pig in there, and I Fulton that pig out, right, and I just hijack the pig out, are you now missing the pig? Or do you get a cloned pig?
No, say you come in Fulton out staff members, I will be missing those staff members, and in my
Let's
list
stick with the pig, Fraser. Let's stick with the pig.
Well, I don't really know
Prized
where I keep pigs in my base, but
maybe your horse. Maybe the horse.
I do have a zoo, but I'm not sure that the zoo is accessible through the forward operations.
Y'all got to stop. Y'all have got to stop.
But if you were to invade my base and take sort of, say, 16 or 20 of my guys...
I think there's...
Dirty girls.
I know.
Dirty birds. Then I would see them as being missing in action or whatever, and I would have to replace those. So, yeah. You can actually, it offers you the chance to purchase insurance. So if...
All right.
But...
Insurance, is that like the day after pill?
Sure.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh my God, people.
All right. Enough of the Metal Gear Solid Online. It sounds like, though, it is definitely a game. If you're remotely interested, you should be checking it out. Fair to say?
Just cover your friend.
Yes.
All right. Anything else you wanted to talk about, Fraser?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm sticking with... I'll tell you what I will... I had talked about the fact that I've got that I got the PS4 a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
And I was deliberating whether I should sell my PS3. It's why hold on to these old things? But then my son went out with one of his friends today and came back and said, he wants to go online, and easy enough. I had a spare TV in the basement. I just threw this TV up, plugged in the PS3. It's all wireless. So within 5 minutes, he was booted up and he was in his own corner of the basement playing on the PS3 online. So it's great to still have these consoles around. So
it is good. It is good. Nothing wrong with hanging on to your old hardware when you can, for sure.
I love holding on to my hardware.
Before we move on, Kim.
Yes.
I know you've been paying attention to the Twitch chat.
Yes.
Any peeps we should give quick shout outs to? I know we did have a new viewer. I think you guys may or may not have given shout outs previously to, but Johnny Dirty Diza. That's at least the way I'm reading it. A big shout out to him for being a recent follower. Who else should we be shouting and shouting out?
Well, Teflon says hi, so Teflon is here. Our CGC is here. And Bongo has made an appearance.
Oh, Lord.
Yep.
Bongo!
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. I have a bet going on with Gary D. Felice, but we'll get to that in a moment. Yeah, it's happening as we're podcasting right now. So I could be winning this bet, or I could be losing miserably. I don't know at this point in time. I will check though.
I'll check though. Just not now.
Yeah. All right. Well, Kim, let's talk about what you've been playing since I had you speak. You might as well continue to speak some more and cover while I'm looking up a hockey game.
Alrighty, I got some free time this week, and I actually got to play a couple hours of Dragon Age, which is, no big surprise there with me. I'm this close to finishing the Jaws of Hakon, so the DLC for that. And today, surprisingly enough, I played a little Ori in the Blind Forest. So
nice,
right? that game is just so pretty to look at. I love that game,
It
even
is
though I
a
haven't
pretty
played
game.
a lot of it. Yeah, so I don't know. I played about an hour or so of that, so it was kind of nice to be back in it. So.
Oh, you've played it before.
Mhm.
Can you see?
Yep.
Are you working your way towards the end? Can you see it?
Yeah,
Might
no,
get to the end?
no, I'm still on. God, what do they call that place? It's like the very first. I'm still on the very first place, the Hallow Grove or something like that. So
All right.
yeah, I'm nowhere near. So,
You
but
know-
it is fun to play. So I like my little squirrel, rabbit, monkey thing, whatever that thing is. So
Yeah, that's a
That-
great game.
it is. I recommend it if you can get it and it's on sale. It's an awesome little game.
Are we still talking about Ori and the Blind Forest?
We are.
Yes.
Okay, just double checking. I heard squirrels, rabbits, and monkeys, and I'm like,
Well, I don't know
She
what Ori
said-
is comprised of.
Yeah,
but,
Right.
that squirrel, rabbit, monkey thing.
gotcha.
Yeah.
They texted. There will
I
be
was
a test.
I was focused on hockey at the moment. I apologize.
yeah, I understand.
Who's playing?
Well,
Sorry.
see, this is the bet. So before we dive, anything else, Kim?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
He said hockey.
So
I know.
So before I dive into what I've been playing, Gary DeFelice and I, we entered into a bet this past week. The loser of this bet will have to donate $10 to the other person's Extra Life page. So Gary and I picked, or I should say Gary threw it out to me and I accepted the wager of the Sharks versus the Islanders hockey game that's going to be happening tonight. The winner obviously gets to gloat, and the loser has to donate $10 to the other person's donation page. So we've got that bet going on. The game has not started yet. It doesn't start, I think, until 4:30. So we may or may not know what's going on with that before the podcast ends. However, I will just say this from the start of this: Gary is the loser, no matter what the outcome of this game.
You might as well get that.
Yeah, just want to get it out
Get
there.
it in while you can. Cheap shot, but
Pretty
good.
much. Pretty much.
Cheap shot, but you take what you can get, right?
Exactly. I mean, literally, if he turned his back, I would punch him in the back of the head. I love the guy. But
we can tell.
yeah.
We're
All
gonna
right.
have to do a meetup just so I can see that happen.
I know.
Right?
I just want to see the violence. That's all.
Yeah. How did you
Well, you
guys
could
get
get a
arrested?
shot into the back of Gary's head yourself, right? And just blame Greg.
Exactly. This is what's
No,
gonna happen.
What I'll
Everybody.
do is I'll wait till he's asleep, and then I'll catch his ass on fire.
Oh, payback. Payback. Remember, Nicole, he did that in the video game, not in real life.
Sometimes.
If you need help.
I
Just
know,
saying.
like desperate times, desperate measures.
You know what I like hearing right now? All of this hatred towards Gary. This is good.
I guess we actually all love him,
He is a good man.
sort of.
When he has his moments. Let's just put it that way. All right, enough of Gary, enough of the bet. We'll get back to that later. I've played a couple different games this past week. The first game I'll talk about is a game called Battle Island. It popped up on the Xbox storefront, and it reminded me, quite honestly, Nicole, a lot of Boom Beach when I first saw it, and I was like, what's this? It's kind of basically Boom Beach. And even worse, it is a free-to-play phone game, basically being ported on. And this is what I fear we're going to start seeing a lot from self-published games on all the consoles. That a lot of these iPhone games, these free-to-play, transactional games, because that's what this is. It's you start off with a certain amount of money, you can generate your units out, and then as you want to progress in the game, slowly but surely, you're going to have to use up all of those tokens, and you're going to be left with kind of generating out soldiers using the in-game currency, which means it takes a long time to happen, and then you can buy in real money, little in a sense kind of make it now tokens. There's nothing more that I can say to this game other than avoid it. I don't think it's worth anybody's time.
Avoided like plague.
You can play this on your tablet, and it probably will control better just because it's going to be using touch controls on the screen, whereas I don't think the controller necessarily works well for these types of games. So yeah, there's that. The game I do want to talk about, and I'm excited to talk about, is a game called Wasteland 2. This is Wasteland 2 Director's Cut is the actual title of the game. It just came out, and the developer is escaping me, but it's actually the original team from Fallout.
Oh, I saw that you got all
Yes.
excited about this.
Yes.
Yes,
this-
you about pissed your pants over this one.
Yeah, pretty
one way of
excited
putting
about
it.
this
Well?
one. Yeah. No. So, in terms of gameplay, it is a combination of an old school isometric kind of view, top-down view RPG, where you have your party, you're leading them around through these different areas and exploring. There's a lot of dialogue between you and characters you come across through the land, and it's all post-apocalyptic, Fallout time frame, if you will. And it's funny because you can see this really was they were going they were going to make Fallout, and then Bethesda, I guess, sued them for the rights to keep Fallout, and said that Bethesda basically kind of put the hammer down and said, no, we own all of Fallout. You can't use the name. So they came back and made it Wasteland 2, and it's pretty damn good. You have to, I think, like this style of game. And so, again, it's that party adventuring, old school RPG, but the combat, think more XCOM in terms of what they did with the consoles, where you'll have cover, and you'll see the little shield come up showing that you have certain amounts of cover. Not quite as polished as, say, an XCOM game in terms of feeling really fluid with the combat. The combat in this game is very much turn-based, and it feels very turn-based, whereas XCOM, I felt, had a certain fluidity to it that kept it from feeling, I don't know, overly turn-based, if that makes any sense at all. What I was really excited about, though, was just this return to this kind of game, because it's a genre that's really been missing. And
It's a genre that you've been missing.
well, I've been missing, and I've been missing, and I think the consoles have completely missed on this kind of genre. So
Do you think it's like a Halo Wars, that it just needs games that are suited to the console? That most of
Yeah.
them, there's so many of them are out there, but they just can't port that well.
I would really say yes to that, Fraser. I think that most of these games, I know they exist on PC in droves. There's tons, but I think that many of them just keep it off the consoles because the porting and getting the controls right is typically difficult, and also I think there is, and maybe it's rightly earned, that console gamers don't necessarily like this type of game, and so they shy away from it. But I don't know. I would recommend check it out. Go look up some of the videos on it before you buy, because it is an acquired taste game. This is not going to be a game for everybody, but there is a level of depth to this game in terms of the RPG side of it, the stat management, the inventory management. It's right up there with, say, a Witcher 3 in terms of all the different loot and what you can do with it. And you can do crafting, and you can, you have different team members that you can build out as well. I don't know. I can't say enough good things about it. I've thoroughly been enjoying my time with it.
Greg,
Yes.
it's In Exile is the developer, by the way.
Okay.
When you play this, is it like the top down, like you would do with what was it, Halo Wars?
Yeah, so the camera controls, and that's one of the areas where it can be a little finicky, and certainly for some people, I think it can turn them off a little bit. So you have that top-down view, but it's actually a three-quarter view, and that's the default view, is this three-quarter look down into the area. It's a little bit zoomed out, so you can see kind of around you, but not too far out in front of you.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures online. It looks gorgeous.
It is a very good-looking game. It's not the best-looking game out there. When you start looking at it a little close up, you do see some of its, it is not as good-looking as, I don't know, some of the top games today. I think The Witcher 3 looks better than this game, but they're very different kind of games as well. So you can't really compare the two.
Okay, that girl needs clothes.
The
Sorry.
camera control, there's three different options within the camera control system. One that allows you to kind of go, left, right, kind of rotating the camera around your character and zooming in and zooming back out. And you can actually zoom it up to almost like a very looking right down on top of your character's top down. And then there's a secondary camera view that will actually allow you to just scroll the camera away from your character, so you can start to see where you can't see without having to move your characters, which can be important in certain strategy moments. And then you do have the ability to kind of change the HUD a little bit. And one of the other things I really liked that they did as a developer with the options was allowing you to actually increase the text size. So it starts off default to medium, but there is a small, there's large, and then there's an extra large text size. And you laugh if you will, Kim, but this, for me, made a huge difference because when I first started playing it, I sit a good 20 feet away from my big screen TV, but the text was fairly small, and I was thinking, God, I'm going to have to sit on the floor like in front of my TV to be able to read this.
20 feet?
Yeah, I'm a good ways back.
Holy
Wow.
moly.
And then I increased the text size to the largest text size, and it all reads perfectly fine. And it's nice because it doesn't impact the aspect ratio of anything else. So I applaud the developer for that, and I wish other developers would do that for their UIs and that kind of thing, especially when there's on-screen text you have to read.
Yeah, I squint
Yeah.
reading the Witcher stuff, and I'm like
Oh my
probably
God.
6-7 feet away.
Can't tell you
And
how
I'm
many
like,
times
what the heck is that saying?
I'm sitting there and I'm squinting and I naturally will frown when I'm squinting, and my wife just looks over at me on the TV. Stop frowning. I'm like, I'm not frowning. I'm trying to read the goddamn text.
On this game, you said your character. Do you get to develop a character, pick a character? How does it work?
So you can use a pre-rolled character, and they have I want to say 5 or 6 different options on pre-rolled characters, or you can create your own custom character. And there's a whole bunch of different options within there. You can be male, female. You can, hair options, face options, clothing options. You can develop. You pick your religion. You don't have to have a religion, but you can have a religion. And I think that potentially plays out within the story, because if somebody else is of a other religion, potentially. I could be wrong on that, but it was interesting that they had religion as a choice. And then there's a biography section where you literally can just write your own biography if you want to. It's not needed. You don't have to, but you could, write in your own biography for your character and give them the background. And then from there, you will get other team members to join you, and everybody has customizable gear. And you assign traits or skill points, character points. So you have certain attributes that you assign points to for your charisma, your strength, your dexterity, your intelligence level, and all of that, of course, typical RPG stuff. It just, if you play Dragon Age, you've played any of the other big RPGs out there, those skill points play out in how you perceive things, or the damage you can deal, that kind of thing. And then you have another set of points that are devoted to skills, things like lock picking, and interesting enough, lock picking and safe cracking are 2 separate skills, which I found quite annoying when I came upon a safe that I wanted to crack and I couldn't crack the safe. It is a really deep RPG, and for $40, again, if you're jonesing for a good RPG, that's not your typical action RPG, which we've seen a lot of lately. This is a real turn-based combat RPG game that I have thoroughly enjoyed so far. And I like the
have a
fact
question.
I'm playing as a ranger. Go ahead.
Teflon wants to know if there are romance options in this RPG.
Not to my knowledge yet, and I'm okay with that. Yes. Ironically,
You don't want to have a Fable moment?
no, but
Damn it.
a funny moment, and this is in the very beginning time. So one of the things that the developer already had said, which I had listened to an interview, they said you can kill anybody in this game. So good townsfolk that you're trying to save, you could wipe out the whole town if you wanted to. It will have negative impact on you, and isn't necessarily the right thing. But so I came across this goat, and one of the guys in the team, where I shouldn't say team, I was in my own camp, and he said, basically, you need to grab that tin of water and bring it over to me. And so I found this tin of water, I picked it up, and immediately the goat knocks me and attacks me, and because I was taking its tin of water. And it doesn't hurt you, but you get the knock. And so I turned and I shot it. I killed it. And he's like, "Oh, why'd you do that? That was my favorite goat." So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but I like killing goats apparently.
You goat killer, you.
Yeah.
Have you played Goat Simulator?
No, I have not.
That game is hilarious, though. I finally played it with the kids because you could get it for free.
Right.
And
Kids
oh my,
love it.
my kids, they think it's absolutely hilarious, and then they're of course trying to tell me, "You got to go up here and get this." I'm like, "I already got it." Well, how did you know it was there? I'm like, because I'm just psychic like that. What do you mean? How did I know it was there?
See,
I
we
play
have
video
Greg's
games.
finely tuned, wonderful, deep Wasteland 2 has now been pushed aside for Goat Simulator.
Yes.
But that game's hilarious. You gotta play it because you can kill 100 goats in there and they still come right back. They're all rubbery.
Yeah, no, I got my fill of Goat Simulator by watching a couple YouTube videos. I did not feel any compelling cause inside to go play Goat Simulator.
No, that's
No.
fair enough.
Yeah.
There's no compelling urge to play that game. But after watching my kids and listening to them giggle, I was like, all right, I gotta give this a go. So
See, that was your compelling urge. I did not have any of that. There was no giggling kids telling me I needed to play Goat Simulator.
Do you want me to video my kids for you?
No. All right. We don't have a news quiz. We do have trivia. Jason Johnson did send us in some trivia, so thank you,
I'm
Jason.
glad I like him.
Yeah. But we do have some news topics I wanted to talk about. There wasn't really a lot going on enough to throw a news quiz, but I like covering some of the bigger things that have happened, so I wanted to just kind of walk through some of this stuff. Fraser, you are a huge fan of the HD remasters. I know this. Countless times you talk and sing in their praises.
Absolutely. You know me well.
Yeah. EA, out on the record, I guess it was an interview with Peter Morris, he was saying, we just really don't have time to do HD remasters. As a company, in terms of what they do, they just, they're not looking to do HD remasters at all. So, no Mass Effect Trilogy HD remaster. I mean, it kind of makes sense if you think about EA's the way they do games. I mean, a lot of them are annualized franchises, so I mean, they really don't need to do an HD remaster. They just kind of make iterations of the last game again for the next year. So, in a sense, you could think of Madden 15 to 16 as Madden 16 is really the HD remaster of Madden 15.
Yeah, that catalog.
Yeah.
Those don't lend themselves to remasters.
No, and they've got a ton of sports games under their belt. Then they've got things like the Battlefields,
Not
which
gonna happen.
yeah, not going to happen. I mean, you start looking at their catalog and you really realize they really don't have the time or the room to do it. I don't know.
I think there's possible. You know what? If there was, if the dollar signs were coming up in front of their eyeballs, they'd have the time to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was the interesting thing. So he talked about that. He said this was he understands it's a good revenue stream for some other companies, but he kind of went back to, and I mean, the comment really was focused in around. I wish I'd kept the article up on my screen, but it was that we just don't have the time to devote to doing that. And I think it's just the reward versus kind of keeping their timetables on their other projects. I'm guessing is not enough of a reward for them to delay any of the other projects, if that makes sense.
I maybe.
I mean, I think they make more money off Madden than they would making an HD remaster of Madden.
I don't doubt that, but I just wonder how much of their own teams do they have to employ to do these remasters. I can't believe you can't farm out someone just to redo textures. I don't know. Sorry, you know what? I mean, I don't know what's involved in doing it, how much work is involved, or how much you need. I'm sure you can outsource that stuff.
Their games in general aren't remaster worthy, in my opinion, because, like you said,
shot fired.
I don't know. You got Madden 15, and then you have Madden. You've got Madden every single freaking year.
Yeah.
So what's the point of remastering something like that when you just get the latest and greatest anyway? So it doesn't make sense to remaster something like that. Okay, and I'm going to hate myself for saying this. I could see redoing something like Mass Effect. God. Because it had such a great following. But I don't see something like any of the Maddens that honestly just lose him altogether.
The sports franchises, I think they have, in a sense, kind of covered that ground with the EA Access model. I think that's how they're getting those residual dollars there. So I think it probably doesn't make sense. The sports franchises for them, that's where they're going to do that. Maybe they will, even though he said this, maybe we do get a Mass Effect trilogy remaster, but I don't think we do. I honestly think EA is probably being pretty truthful on this, that they don't feel internally they have the time or a real need to do it. I'm guessing Mass Effect 4 is going to come with access to Mass Effect 1 through 3, or at least Mass Effect 3 through backwards compatibility. I'm trying to remember if all three came out. All three did come out on the 360. So
see, here's the thing about Mass Effect: is Mass Effect 1 isn't noted as a darling amongst video games. I think it has its loyal following. Mass Effect 2 is considered a masterpiece, and everyone complained about Mass Effect 3 being a crappy ending and not that great. But I'm with Nicole here. I think you're drinking the Kool-Aid of the guy and what he says, and I'm looking here now online. Notable releases. Now you can only have to go back so far to 2000. Nothing's going to happen before then because you're not going to remaster anything. Well, it wasn't even 2006. You're not going to remaster anything really before then. Crisis series? No. Rock Band? No. Skate? Warhammer Online? Not going to happen. Spore? Army of Two? The only ones here that look possible are Dead Space.
Army of Two.
Army of Two.
I liked
Standout. When your standout releases is Army of Two.
Yeah.
Dead Space, Mirror's Edge, Dragon Age, Mass Effect. Dante's Inferno, Star Wars, The Old Republic. That's on their notable.
That's
they
a good
haven't
point.
got it. They've got nothing. They haven't got anything.
See? They have
shit.
They
do, but a lot of it's tied to sports. A lot of it is also, annualized franchises now. Battlefield, which they're not going to do remasters on. So
yeah, I understand that, but I think for the guy to come up and say, "Well, we just haven't got the time for it," herba derba derba. Yeah, right. They haven't got the games for it.
Thank you.
Right? Hands up. Who thinks he's talking out of his boomole?
Maybe.
Arsehole.
Maybe. All right.
Just say it out there.
Next story. Let's see. Microsoft said a vast majority of Xbox One Kinect owners still use the peripheral.
They're lying too.
I would say not lying, but I'd say they're just plugged in. They're plugged in. It's
they would
funny.
have hard numbers. They'd have hard numbers.
Well, yeah. They have the hard numbers, but they have the hard numbers that they're plugged in. They have the hard numbers they're probably using for the camera recognition of sign-in.
That's great. I love that.
I do too.
I'm sold on that. I sit down, I come down, it goes, "Hi, Fraser," and changes everything to my color. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that would creep me out. Just saying.
It doesn't for long, and
No.
just the fact,
It
you know, I
doesn't
can
for
shout at
long,
it.
so.
No, and when you can start shouting at it to turn the volume down, and I'm
Yep.
getting more and more into recording game clips now.
Right.
When neat things happen, and my son, once he figures out he's telling it to do all sorts of things. He loves it. So I wish there were more games, but even without games, as a piece of tech, it's cool.
No,
It's really cool.
I totally agree. And I will say, my most used feature of all of the voice commands and the visual things was literally just saying, Xbox pause, because I'd
Right.
be watching either live TV or say a Netflix show, whatever, and it would just pause it, and I could just walk away real fast, go get whatever. Or my wife would be watching TV with me. I would have the remote, whatever, on my side, and she would suddenly be like, I have to go to the bathroom. She would get up and say it. So, the vision worked and works pretty well. Not always great, and that's a problem with just noise in the room itself. If it's too noisy in the room, it's going to have a harder time hearing you. But I want to kind of just
Not
go
me.
to a side note to this, which is, as I think back to Microsoft and their launch and the Kinect being an integral part of the system, I look back on that now, and obviously we know it wasn't a peripheral that had to be packed in. I think they forced something that ended up hurting them in the long run, and even in the short run. And I think they probably would have been in a far better position had they, out of the gate, kept Kinect as a device that was a add-on if you wanted it. So, I don't know.
Which is what I did, because I bought
Yeah.
my original Xbox, didn't have the Kinect. So, but, it wasn't too long after that I went out and shelled the money for one, because, like I said, I liked being able to go Xbox, volume up, Or if I'm laying here half asleep, Xbox, turn off. I don't have to go look for the controller and,
And we apologize right now, by the way, for all those people whose Xboxes are turning on
Yeah,
and off,
right.
volumes going up and down. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that great
So-
video. Did you see that guy? And he was playing Call of Duty, and his gamer tag was Xbox turn off.
Yes.
So people were reading his gamer tag out as they were playing, and then just suddenly disappearing offline. Great.
All right. Next up, the Steam controller and Steam machines finally hitting store shelves. Coming out this past week. I've seen some videos on the Steam controller. It looks interesting. I'm curious how it works, but I mean, I'm not curious enough to dive into getting one.
My
Fraser?
colleague has received his. John from the Game Punchers has got his.
And is he
bought,
excited about it?
well, he was excited about it, but he's a Mac guy,
Right.
So running Xbox controllers on the Macs were a bit of a workaround and not really working that great. Anyway, so he bought into the early access for the Steam controller and got his this week, but it is not working with Macs. Apparently, they're doing a patch. He's got to wait for a patch for a few weeks, so he's not too over the moon about that. Hopefully, it will all work out for him. He said it's pretty cool. It said it feels good in his hand and stuff. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he's got to say about it. Hopefully, he gets to try it out on another system.
I think probably the most unique thing about it that I've seen, I mean, there's the haptic discs in for the two thumbs, which I'm not super thrilled about. I know some people are like, oh my god, that's revolutionary. I'm not in that camp. But the underside paddle, there's two underside paddle buttons, if you will, for your fingers on the underside of the controller. That to me is something that I think moving forward is going to become, especially next generation, as they develop out their new controllers, that will probably be something that becomes standardized. We've seen the Elite controller has little paddle shifters underneath. The Steam controller, it's literally just two giant kind of paddles. So I think that just it gives just some added controllability or added function to the controllers. It's kind of needed. I think that there's a need to have a couple added inputs on the controllers that they've been lacking. Outside of that, I still don't think the Steam machines are going to do much for the industry or impact in any meaningful way. They have a very narrow spot within GameStop, I guess, that they have their slice now there, the little stand area. But I mean, I just don't see a big push.
I think there will be. It's not going to be at console level. I think there will be a fair amount of these machines moving off the shelves. People like Alienware and whoever who have skin in the game, as it were, and are putting these machines out. I think they'll see some sales and they'll be happy with what what they start moving out the door. Because little Timmy will want a Steam machine. He'll hear on the grapevine that Counter-Strike Go is the thing to be doing, and
right.
if he can get Mum to convince him to buy a Steam machine. For those who aren't going to build a machine, I think they will sell consoles. I don't think they're going to set the world on fire.
Now,
They'll have their place.
I think little Timmy is going to be asking for a Nintendo NX, because that's our next little piece of news. So rumors, I guess Nintendo NX dev kits have been hitting the street for devs. So that's the word on the street, and even more so is now speculation that there's a possibility of them maybe launching in 2016.
Ooh.
Yeah. So supposedly some of the specs, although they've not been, I mean, it's all real general stuff right now. Nothing specific has come out, but they said that it's a high-tech custom chip that's being put into the machine, and it's a combination console and mobile device, so you can take your gaming on the go. And that's kind of an interesting direction, and one that I've thought made sense for Nintendo. They have the 3DS handheld, they have the console, kind of combining the two into a system that allows you to just take that on the go would be brilliant. As long as you're getting the same experience and it's not watered down, it's not bastardized. Fraser, I see this like half little grin on your face as we're talking through this. I mean, are you buying into this? You think this is a possibility? You're like the Nintendo supporter out of this group.
I think, Nintendo, we know they innovate for sure. And a lot of people have speculated that they're going to do this. There's going to be some sort of connection between the 3DS and the console and some ability to interact and move around. And like you say, maybe take the gaming away. I was smiling to myself as I imagined the horror of my children taking the console out of the house, whatever they might do. But I think they'll do it. I mean, talking about specs, it doesn't matter with Nintendo. It doesn't care. Who cares what kind of chip they're going to put in it? It's not going to be up to the standard of it.
I don't agree with you there, Fraser. Look what happened with the Wii U. The specs of that machine clearly killed the momentum of the Wii U.
Oh, I don't doubt it for a second.
Okay.
But I just don't think they pay any regard to that. They're almost like half a generation behind.
But do you think maybe this time they're listening? Or do they just catch up? Do you think that's what happens? Do you think they just put something in there to get them kind of up to current levels?
Do you know what? I don't know if I agree with you on that. That's what killed the Wii U. I still think a lot of people would say the Wii U died because they just didn't have the promotion. They I'm trying to watch my language here because it's that time of the day.
Right.
They just ballsed up.
Right.
Letting people know that the console was out there, calling it something so similar to the console that millions of people already had sitting in their living room. I mean, it was literally 6 months after I still was hearing people saying, I don't know if the Wii U is, what is it, just a peripheral for my Wii? Is it an extension? I mean, that's shocking. That's shocking.
I mean,
who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Now,
in fairness, well, sorry, just to piggyback on what you're saying, think about their E3 presentation. They brought the tablet out on stage. They showed the tablet off. They never actually showed the box. They never actually showed the Wii U box, and that was why many of us were like, is this just a peripheral? What is this? So, yeah, I get what you're saying.
But, if you play a Wii U, if by a remote chance Greg DeLacy ever plays a Wii U, I mean, you'll see it's a great. I mean, it's
I go to Target once in a while. I think they have them out
it's
there.
yeah, but it's a great console. It really is. It's a great console. Games look fantastic on it, and when Nintendo's on their game and making games, utilizing the hardware like it's meant to be used, it's just a great experience. It's fantastic. So from that point of view, I'm saying for the NX, they're not going to be. I don't think they're going to be at the bleeding end of, the arms race.
Right.
They'll make what they need to make, and I'm sure it'll be powerful enough. I mean, the fights that we get into, is the Xbox more powerful than the PlayStation 4? I mean, nobody really can tell the difference, can they? Can they? Some people will say they can, and maybe somebody
in the chat right now is probably screaming, "I can tell the difference," but
yeah, I know, but 90% of us can't,
right,
or don't care.
I don't care. Yeah.
And a good game is a good game. I mean, yeah, obviously there has to be a certain level of power up there, but they'll do fine. We'll see what they bring. I'm glad they're not gone. That's for sure.
Absolutely. The industry is much better having, I think, 3 powerful players, 4 if you want to count Steam, pushing gaming along. I think that when we start to cut parts of that out and parts of those companies start dying off, the industry suffers for that. So,
yeah, of course.
And likewise, you never want to truly have somebody completely dominate out a generation, like we saw with the PS2, because ultimately that will. I think as you're going through that generation to a degree, at times it's beneficial because one, you don't need to worry about other systems. You're just getting your one system, and everybody's on board. But at some point or another, there's stagnation that starts happening, complacency. We saw Sony really rest on their laurels with the PS2 because they thought, well, we are the kings. There's nobody else that can touch us. And they came out with the PS3.
Yeah, and look what happened.
Yeah. All right, let's talk trivia. We've got 3 questions. Kim, your big sigh means you go first. Here we go. Trivia from Jason Johnson. Kim, this is right up your alley.
Oh boy.
Kim, how many race options are available when creating a character in Dragon Age 2?
Criminy.
Is it A, 4, B, 3, C, 1, or D, 6? How many race options are available when creating a character in Dragon Age 2?
Just watch me get stoned. I get this wrong. I think there's just 1, right? I think I'll go with 1.
Kim Woods. Way to go! Yeah, nicely played.
I'm thinking to myself, going, "Yeah, wait a minute."
Yeah, human only. In fact, that was the big uproar. Well, one of the big uproars, I should say, with Dragon Age 2 was you could only play as a human, which was a stark contrast from the original Dragon Age Origins. All right, Fraser.
That's me.
That is you, Fraser. How many possible endings are in Dishonored? Is it A, 2, B, 7, C, 1, or D, 16? How many possible endings are in Dishonored?
I think it's more than 2, so I'm going to go with 7. 16 sounds like an awful lot.
Nicole
7.
Radowski, how many possible endings are in Dishonored? Is it A, 2, C, 1, or D, 16?
You know when you move on and you don't even acknowledge my answer? You know how cold,
It's
how
basically
cold and low you make.
2.
Iceman.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Nicole?
Dos.
Dos is the correct answer. Yes, it is 2 possible endings in Dishonored 2, or Dishonored 1.
That's how you do that, Fraser.
Dishonored 1, not Dishonored 2.
Nice. Nicely done.
Yes. All right, Nicole, you get the last question.
I don't want it.
Nicole, in GoldenEye 007 for the N64, a game I know you played countless hours.
Especially a Nintendo game.
Yes.
Yeah, that's me.
Which mission does Bond first meet Natalia?
Oh God.
Is it A, Mission 2, Cervenia? Jesus Christ. Thank you for putting these in. I'm just going to go with A, Mission 2, B, Mission 3, C, Mission 4, or D, Mission 6. I refuse.
That's no good. You've got to do the names.
I know. All right. A, Mission 2, Severnaya. B,
That's
Mission 3, Kyrgyzstan?
I don't know.
Kyrgyzstan?
I can't see.
Kyrgyzstan. It's Kyrgyzstan. It's got to be. Jason Johnson, I hate you. C, Mission 4, Monte Carlo, or D, Mission 6, St. Petersburg. The last two, much easier to say. GoldenEye, which mission do you first meet Natalia Nicole?
Natalia
Is it
Nicole?
Natalia on a top?
Maybe.
Is that her name?
I don't know.
I honestly don't have a freaking clue because, that's just...
I
Even though I
honestly-
played the shit out of that game.
I know you did.
Yes, I did. Can we go with Monte Carlo just because it sounds good and I'm going to be nice and it's easy for you to say?
You could.
But it's wrong.
Kim Woods, in
Yes.
GoldenEye 007 N64, which does Bond first meet Natalia? Is it A, Mission 2, Severnaya, B, Mission 3, Kyrgyzstan, or D, Mission 6, St. Petersburg?
I'm gonna go with St. Petersburg.
Fraser Moores,
Fraser.
in
Oh, shit.
GoldenEye 007 N64, which mission does Bond first meet Natalia? Is it A, Mission 2, Servanaya? I think I've said it 5 different ways now.
Or
Or
Kyrgyzstan?
B, Mission 3, Kyrgyzstan.
I don't know, so I'm going to guess Mission 3. I know it's not St. Petersburg or the other one because they were quite late in it, but I 2 or 3, I don't know. 3.
Greg DeLacy,
First-
in GoldenEye. It is, in fact,
There you go.
Mission 2,
Sold.
Servanaya. That was a tough one. That was a very difficult question.
Wow.
And to follow up that, we have the final quiz question from Jason Johnson. Back of the box trivia. Fraser, why don't you kick it off? And if we go through the 3 of you and we don't have an answer, we'll give the hint. All right?
Where is it? Is it here in the notes?
It is not in the notes. Here we go. This is the back of the box description. Are you ready?
Oh, you're gonna. I thought you wanted me to read it.
No, I'm going to read it to you, my
No,
friend.
he wants you to do
Yes.
it.
I want you to guess the game.
Yeah.
Guess the game based on this back of the box description. Powered up racing, go beyond just racing and enter the world of blank. Take on the best as you battle through New York to Barcelona, Tokyo, LA, and beyond.
Wipeout.
Nicole. Powered up
Tokyo
racing.
Drift, because I don't know.
Kim. Powered up racing, go beyond just racing and enter the world of blank. Take on the best as you battle through New York to Barcelona, Tokyo, LA, and beyond.
Oh boy. It's not right, but the only one I can think of is Blur.
Kim Woods, you nailed it!
Seriously?
Wow.
Holy cow!
That is good.
Blur it is. Yes, in fact, I knew if I gave the hint, Fraser, you were going to get it. The hint was if you look...
I know nothing about that game at all.
Yeah,
I
but-
would
Oh, the
put it
game's
into-
fun, though.
Yeah, I like Blur actually.
I
Yeah.
do, too.
Blur was the
Um,
first racing game that tried to introduce like an RPG kind of mechanic to it.
But see, I downloaded it, so I don't have the fucking box, Jason.
Fraser, this was going to be
I
the
actually
hint,
have
which
the box.
again, I was confident you would get the hint, regardless of your knowledge of the game. If you look at something without your glasses, or if something is going too fast, the image becomes a blank. That is the like that's just handing it to you on a silver platter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good clue.
Yeah. All right.
I still have screwed it up.
Well done, Nicole.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about some new releases.
Let's talk about some new releases. So, from the 18th of October to the 24th, we have Dragon Ball Z Extreme. What?
Ballsy.
Dragon Ball Z Extreme Butodonen.
Whatever. It's
That's
3DS.
Worthy, Greg. That was.
Yes.
I tried.
I'm very proud of you, Greg. Gravity Falls, Legend of the Gnome, Gemulets. Gemulets, some kind of something. It's Gravity Falls. My kids will like that. But we don't have a 3DS, so oh well.
Damn.
Guitar Hero Live for everything on the 20th.
Live!
Everything. Just Dance 2016 for everything. Life is Strange, and so is Frasier. Wait, no. That's
Yeah, we know.
episode
What?
5.
I like that you got Blaine Fraser. That was good.
Yeah, I know. What's all that about?
No, it's really Greg throwing Frasier under the bus because he's not been here for a while.
I was here last week.
Whatever. I haven't been here for a while. Oregon Trail Complete Edition, because we needed a game about the Oregon Trail, apparently. And that will
Oregon.
be on
Oregon.
Oregon.
Oregon?
Oregon.
Oh, okay.
Oregon Trail.
Oh, that's even more gross. And I really need to get my stick.
I was with you though. I was with you. I was like Oregon Trail because I mean they did the remake. It was out there, so I was like, oh, Oregon Trail. Okay, sure.
But no, it's
Wow,
actually
Oregon Trail.
And
Nice.
Sounds
that's
like a bad
way
porn.
worse. And then after that, of course, comes out Primal Carnage Extinction for the PS4 and Pulse on the PC. They got a lot of anatomy games. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what Pulse is. Rep Galaxy for the PC. Sword Coast Legends.
Sword Coast Legends. I believe that is again like a top-down RPG, kind of old school party RPG game, if I'm not mistaken.
Old school.
Like Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate. Think Baldur's Gate, and you will be happy.
No.
I'm not thinking balls anything. So, Tales of Zestiria.
Well done, by the way.
Thank you. And then Tales from the Borderlands, Episode 5, The Vault of the Traveler. Because
Timing.
I wait. I'm waiting. Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater for the Wii U.
Yeah, that could be good.
Would that be Knocked for the PC?
I was gonna go with Know It.
But
Like
that
Poet.
looks like a
Like
C.
Poet. I'm
Not
not-
an E.
Is it Knocked? Is it?
That's a C, sweetheart.
That is a C,
It's a
sweetheart.
plastic.
God,
Come
dumbass.
on, increase your
Jeez.
font. Come on, increase your font
Sorry,
size.
sugar. Sorry. Slender, The Arrival. Is that as in a Slenderman or
Yes, Slenderman.
Slender, The Arrival? Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
I don't
The
really know if it was
Legend
Slenderman,
of Zelda
by
Triforce Heroes. And
Yippee!
Warhammer. End Times. Vermintide.
the way.
on
Vermintide.
October 23rd. And that's
Boy.
the end of our upcoming releases.
Excellent. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
that.
sir.
All right. We're going to skip along just to some Playdate stuff. Quick little recap here. Clan War updates. Is there anything going on, or is this just all imploded? Do we have Clash of Clans going on anymore? Do we even care? Boom Beach.
I've actually just done a clan attack while we've been podcasting. So-
Son of
going
a
on.
bitch. What's going on with that, Fraser? Give me the recap.
I would. It's there's spirit. The clan has spirit. That's for sure.
There's
We do
spirit.
what we can.
There's fight. They're not giving up. So Clash of Clans, we have our own clan. So if you need a place to play this game, play it with G4TE.com. Look up Nicole. Look up Kim.
Mhm.
Look up not Fraser, because Fraser could care less. He doesn't want to lead anything anymore. Boom Beach. Nicole, have you given up on Boom Beach?
Hell no.
Because I see there's a recruitment effort on your end. Do you want
There's
to
always a recruitment effort on my end.
put forward your recruitment pitch?
I just need more people. We do these lovely little. I like it better because it's a little slower than Clash. And now that I'm going to say this out loud on air, it means that I have jinxed myself. But I don't get attacked daily like I do in Clash. Like I'll get attacked. I'll go back to Clash and I've been attacked 4 or 5 times and I'm broke. But I don't have that happen in Boom Beach. So I like that aspect of it. I can actually level up without losing every damn thing I own.
All right.
So I do want more people to come play with us. So you can find us also. G4TE.com
All right.
is our clan name, or excuse me, our task force name.
Well, all right. If you want to play with Nicole,
No.
I was
Don't
gonna
go
throw
there.
in I was gonna throw in an invasion comment too, but I decided just to skip it all.
Yeah, we're not invading me either. Keep moving on, Greg.
Moving on, we
Yeah.
do have the We Are Epic challenge going on right now. So this, if you are not familiar, the G4TE.com community, we do like to give stuff away. And so we have currently a contest going on that runs quarterly where you throw up a 30-second video. Don't throw it up, though. Just put it up on the internets, specifically on our Facebook page. And you can find that Facebook page by typing in your browser epic.g4te.com. That'll throw you over to our Facebook page for the We Are Epic Challenge. You throw up your 30-second video, something epic or something epically failed, and at the end of the quarter it gets judged and deemed either worthy or not worthy, and the worthiest of the worthy will then win a $20 gift card to either PSN, Xbox Live, or the Steams. We've got some racing stuff going on. There's a Forza 6 Hot Lap Challenge going on right now. Basically, it is a Dodge Viper SRT 110 ASR on the Lime Rock full course. And really what you want to do is make sure you have Bongo the Sane on your friends list, and then you can jump in and take part in the Hot Lap Challenge.
I'm sorry, I like the notes.
That's okay. Project Cars also has a Hot Lap Challenge going on right now, which is the Sakito National track with a Mitsubishi Evolution X FQ400 car. And it's Road C1, I guess, is the class. So there you go. Tuning is allowed. Make sure you reach out to @Gonzo_FK on Twitter, and he can hook you up because it is a cross-platform challenge. And we also have an F1 2015 challenge that actually is ending today. So never mind. We no longer have a Forza F1. Sorry, did I say Forza F1? It's just F1 2015 challenge, but it's over, so forget about it. Don't worry about it. Look out for the next one, and make sure on the PS4 you have @Morty1884 as your friend, or on the Xbox One have @DavidTheAlien as your friend, and they'll hook you up and get you into the F1 challenge. Victories achieved. Kim,
Yes.
it is your time to talk. You've
It
been
is
far
my
too
time to
quiet. Walk me through victories achieved, and then maybe give us a couple examples of people that have achieved victories.
Alrighty, will do. Victory Achieved is a little Twitter contest. You take a picture and include your lovely self in said picture, and send it to us at g4te.com. Spell out the dot. That's important. Otherwise, we won't get it, or somebody else will, and they'll just think
Extremely
we're crazy.
important.
Exactly. And you'll be put into a drawing for a $20 gift card for either PSN, Xbox Live, or Steam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like free money? I'm just saying.
Right? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Our current Victory Achieved people are, we have Mr. Miyagi with GTA 5. We have Chris MJW with Super Mario 3D Land. We have Chris MJW again with Star Fox 64. There is Infected Psyche with Metal Gear Revengeance. Callie Byrne with Mass Effect. Well, luckily somebody finished Mass Effect. I'm just saying. And we, I'm not a Mass Effect fan.
Purpose.
Sorry. Yeah.
Me neither.
And we have Amorous89 with Back to Bed.
Which-
Congratulations.
I'm not sure this was a
yes.
game or this was an order from his mother. I'm just saying.
I know,
yeah,
right?
you have to
Or
watch
it's
that guy. He's
I
well
know.
dodgy on these finishing
Oh, yeah.
these games.
I
Yep.
wonder if
Mhm.
Bongo didn't slip one past me this time.
Hmm.
Just saying.
Back to
Could be, you know how
it's a
Bongo is.
phone game.
Oh.
Amras.
Amras.
Well-
No,
Well.
it's not. No, it's not. It's on Steam as well.
All right.
Oh,
So it's a shitty Steam game. I
It's
see.
a crappy Steam game. It costs under a tenner.
Well,
That's
well
all right.
done anyway. You know what? Part of the rules. He made it in. It's a qualified game.
Oh, it does look all right. Looks pretty neat.
We're all coming around on it. We're going to be
Yeah,
buying
I'm
it
getting
tomorrow. Yeah, we're buying
I'm
it.
gonna buy it right now.
All right. Well, thank you, Kim, by the way, for reading that off. Fantastic.
Sure.
And again, make sure you finish a game. Just get onto Twitter. Send it off. I mean, it is the easiest way for you to potentially win $20 that can be. You already finished the game. Why not gloat about it a little bit?
Exactly.
And unless it's Barbie Course Adventures, you may not want to. That you might pass. All right, if you want to be part of the conversation and join in on the Twitch chat, you can come check us podcast live every Saturday. We usually start at 3 o'clock Pacific time. Usually. Sometimes we're a little delayed, like today. But you can pretty much rest assured we will be on broadcasting and talking about games and giving stuff away once in a while. So come check us out. Live.g4te.com. Put that in your browser. If you're listening to this on the audios, give it a try. Why not? You can email the podcast like Jason Johnson does with trivia. And we certainly welcome all kinds of questions. If you ever have a question, just a life question, maybe you want a dating advice from Nicole and Kim on what to do when you talk to a girl other than stare. That's a viable question. We would answer that. We also might answer
Needed that 20 years ago, Greg.
I know.
Not now.
No,
You know what though? There are some
there are some
people
stares.
that still stare.
I do.
Just lower portion and that's it.
Yeah.
Like eyes up here, people. Not there.
If you want to find us on Twitter, look us up at OC_podcast. We also have a Facebook group, as you may know already, because of our epic Facebook challenge. But just type in fb.g4te.com, and that will magically take you to our Facebook page, as well as Facebook, and they can advertise to you and get all your data. And yeah, it's good things, though. I like Facebook. I've come around on it. I use it like
Liar.
every 10 days. Not. 20% voucher off Green Men Game. If you guys like buying PC games, Green Men Gaming, we have a little 20% voucher on our Twitter page. So just type in gmg.g4t.com. I'm not going to repeat that, but you can find that there. I think that's kind of going to wrap it up. You can donate to us. We do take donations for our prize fund only. We don't pay ourselves. Obviously, because the quality of the show is not that great. But we have a good time doing it anyway. Let's do some closing shout-outs. Fraser Moores, why don't you start us off?
Let's do one I haven't done for a while, Greg. Let's shout out yourself for hosting this wonderful show and putting in the work that you do, even though you've been taking a little bit more time off the last few weeks.
Life has been getting in the way, man.
I think that's good. I'm glad. It's good that you're like that manager who gets to that point in their life where they finally realize that they can go away on a holiday and the place isn't going to burn to the ground and the staff can still run it. They might not get the work done, probably mucking around and really not doing what they should do, but the place isn't, going to the dogs.
Yes.
It's not a total Charlie Foxtrot.
Not
right.
a total Charlie Foxtrot.
So,
No.
yeah, and it's and nice to be with the B team. Sorry, Mark couldn't be here. And then if anybody's still remotely interested in my voice anymore, go check out GamePunchers.com.
They should.
Thanks very much.
It's a lovely podcast, Fraser.
We're having a
Lovely.
nice time doing that right now. We've found we've got really bogged down in life.
Yeah, it
We
happens.
normally record on a Wednesday night, and it's killing us. We try to record on the Wednesday nights. It's tough, really tough.
Right.
So again, a shout out to everybody who does put podcasts out, because it's easy enough to type it into your podcast listener of choice, but no one gets paid for it. We enjoy it. That's why we do it, right?
Right.
But to do it regularly is pretty tough. But it's good. Like at Game Punchers, we have the cover. It's like this place. We have the cover that if somebody can't make it, somebody else can step in. So
Yes.
it's all going well.
I keep
It's good
waiting
stuff.
for my phone to ring one of these days.
I know,
to
right?
bring me
We
back
get
in.
ignored.
All right. Okay. First of all,
First of all,
right, Greg has been on the show. Your phone has rung, and
Yes.
you've been on,
I know.
and you've been
I know.
invited more than once.
I know.
I have no excuse for not inviting Nicole and Kim.
They're intimidating. It's this the chick thing.
That's
you just,
it. Yeah.
You know
it's
what it
just-
is? They'll sit there and stare at the lower region and not be able to talk.
Fraser is above that, but John would just be tunnel vision. Yeah. All right. Fraser, anything else? my
Nope,
friend?
that's great. Thanks, guys.
No, thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm just going to take control of the passing of the batons. Nicole.
Yes, sir. You guys, because it's been a while for me, because I've had, life get in the way. So, definitely enjoy being here with you guys. And yes, Fraser, I do like giving you a lot of crap, and I'm sorry.
I don't
It's like
mind.
Yeah, so you're back. I'm back. We'll just give each other crap like always. To our chat and all of our listeners, because without them, we wouldn't be doing this. And to Womble, who is increasingly annoying me with remarks about my old Gears t-shirt. So,
Well done, Womble. Well done.
no, well done to
Up.
Womble.
Kim.
Yeah, shout out to you guys again. It's another great podcast. So, to our
That's brown
viewers,
nosing, right? I've been accused of brown nosing in the chat, right? That's brown nosing there. Go on, carry on.
Sorry, anything else, Kim? No?
Yeah, no, that's good. Our viewers, our listeners, thanks for showing up.
All
That's
right.
brown nosing.
That is brown nosing. Absolutely. Well,
The listeners brown nosing.
we do need to brown nose to the listeners a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on.
Absolutely. Thank you to the three of you for making the podcast timely-ish.
Sorry.
It happens. And Fraser, thank you for the jumping on late. You weren't anticipating it. We thought Mark was going to be here. He even said as much earlier today. So hopefully nothing bad has happened with Mark and all is good and he just is happily sleeping, dreaming of whatever he dreams of at night. I'm afraid it might be gorillas. Goats and gorillas. There we go. I want to shout out our listeners, obviously, as Kim pointed out and rightly pointed out. We do this because we enjoy it, but we also like entertaining our listeners and the participation we get back from the listeners. So thank you to all of you who are listening. I also want to make a big plug, Extra Life. It is coming up. This is the 24-hour gaming marathon that supports the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Robin Tate is going to be participating this year. Myself, as always, I am participating this year. I say that as always because I think I've been doing it now for like 6+ years. Don't donate to Gary DeFelice. Donate to me, Greg DeLacy, or Kim. Kim, are you doing it this year?
I'm doing it
she does it every year too.
I did not realize that, Kim.
Yes.
Good job. I love that. Yes. All right. So donate to Kim if you want, or you can donate to me.
Not to Gary though.
Not to Gary. Most importantly, not to Gary. And as an added perk, and just with a minimal $5 donation to my donation page, you do get entered into a giveaway for a $60 Amazon gift card. So there's some irony here happening. If Gary should lose his bet, he actually would have 2 tickets into winning possibly a $60 gift card. So maybe he comes out the winner on it after all. I don't know. But for those of you listening, $5 in gets you a ticket in. The more you donate, the more tickets you get in. And you could win yourself a $60 Amazon card. I do send off to the UK, so don't be afraid to donate there. In fact, I did that 2 years back. Did the conversion. So it's $60 value, Amazon gift card. Boom. There it is. But really, donate to whoever you want to. It's a really good cause. It hits home for me.
The exchange rate, I can't afford not to have a go at that.
There you go. All right. That is it. Thank you all again so much for listening, and give us ratings on iTunes and or wherever you find us. Subscribe up. Thanks again, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Toodles.